2 seconds,
yes.
so we don't need to click on anything. Okay, we can go ahead. Okay, so good.
Dear participants, next we have an interesting panel discussion coming up. The panel discussion will take 60 minutes with 15 minutes question and answers. We'll open the Q&A session 15 minutes before the start of the Q&A. Please do forward your question to the speaker, panelists, and moderator. You can use the top Q&A button at the top right of your screen to send our question. The topic for today includes how to grow digital commerce by using AI to increase customer engagement in Vietnam, driving growth with direct to customer. How do you define your brand through data and experience? Our speaker, panelists, and moderator include Sudesh Kumar, the Chief Digital Officer of Hello Health Group Vietnam, Hoang, Digital Director, MediaCom Vietnam, John Masud, part of VSHR Pro Academy Vietnam, and our moderator, Benjamin Poirrier, the founder and CEO of Prodima Vietnam. Let's welcome them on stage. Sau đây xin mời quý vị khán giả đến với một phần thảo luận vô cùng thú vị kéo dài trong khoảng 60 phút với 15 phút dành cho phần hỏi đáp. Phần hỏi đáp sẽ được mở 10 phút trước khi bắt đầu. Và để chuyển những câu hỏi của mình tới các diễn giả cũng như ban tổ chức, quý vị khán giả có thể sử dụng nút hỏi và đáp ở phía trên cùng màn hình bên phải của mình. Vậy là chủ đề của buổi thảo luận ngày hôm nay sẽ là làm thế nào để phát triển thương mại kỹ thuật số thông qua việc sử dụng AI để tăng tương tác của khách hàng tại Việt Nam cũng như thúc đẩy tăng trưởng với mô hình D2C, doanh nghiệp phân phối trực tiếp sản phẩm tới khách hàng, và làm thế nào để xác định thương hiệu của mình thông qua dữ liệu và trải nghiệm. Sau đây thì phần thảo luận của chúng tôi xin được phép bắt đầu. Xin mời các vị diễn giả của chúng ta.
Yeah, so thank you for this very nice introduction. Hello everyone. Thanks everyone for joining
the stage
premiere.
Is now yours.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's start. Thank you everyone for joining the Premier Digital Summit Vietnam 2022 edition. So I'm very glad to be your host and moderator today. So in this session we'll cover the impact of artificial intelligence, so AI, on digital marketing. So especially we'll focus on its benefits for e-commerce, for the user experience, and how businesses can leverage AI to boost their online sales. So for 1 hour, I think a little bit less than 1 hour, we'll have the honor to discuss with proven experts from the digital industry. All together, we'll raise a few points, and I invite everyone joining this panel to ask questions about this topic. So you can write them in the chat box at the bottom right of your screen if you want. So we'll read them during the session, and we'll answer them in live, maybe during the discussion with the other experts, or maybe at the end. Okay, it depends. Tại vì cũng có nhiều người Việt Nam ở đây là trong cái chat bên dưới là các bạn có thể viết câu hỏi bằng tiếng Anh hoặc là tiếng Việt cũng được nha, cả hai là cũng được. Chúng tôi rất vui trả lời các bạn. Đúng ngày hỏi mình nha, ok, không có gì xấu hổ.
Wow.
Yeah. So before we get started, let's have some presentations. Okay. So my name is Ben. I will be the host for this artificial intelligence discussion. So I am the founder and CEO at Prodima Vietnam, a digital marketing agency based in Ho Chi Minh City. So my team builds professional websites. We boost them with SEO, so search engine optimization. We run paid ads, like Google, TikTok, programmatic, and we manage social media campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and more. And so, yes, in my business, we use quite a lot of AI on a daily basis. I'm very happy to share my expertise with you guys. So now we'll have a friendly chit chat with 3 digital experts. So I cannot wait to go through the first questions with them. I will let them introduce themselves. So maybe Sudesh, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Ben, and also thanks to the Digital Summit team for arranging such an informative and amazing session. So I've learned a lot from the previous session. I hope you guys in the audience can learn a lot from this particular session as well. So myself, I'm Sudesh, and I oversee the entire digital team at Hello Health Group, or Hello Baxi in Vietnam, which is a digital healthcare platform serving about 38 million monthly active users across the 9 markets. And in Vietnam, it's about 10 million users. So the digital function includes functions like the entire technology team, the product team, the data team, and also the entire marketing functions itself. I've joined this business about 3 years ago as a head of data, so pretty much built the entire data team and also the data ecosystem from scratch. And it comprised of data scientists, data engineers, BI analysts, and also data-driven solutions towards not only improving, operational efficiency, but also providing the best next recommended point of interaction to our audience itself. And quite recently, I oversee the marketing functions with a view towards building a data-driven organization that's backed by product and technology solutions. Before HelloHelp, I was at Lazada Group, leading the marketplace data and BI efforts, serving data-driven solutions to more than 60 million monthly active users at that time. I believe this time it should be more. And yeah, I'm quite excited to be in this session to share my thoughts as well about AI. And that's myself in short.
It's great, Sudesh. Very great presentation. Thank you very much. So maybe Anh Bảo ơi, okay, your turn for the presentation.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to the Digital Summit Vietnam. My name is Bảo. More than 15 years in the digital. When the digital just joined Vietnam, I think I'm the one who joined. I'm the first one who joined in the digital agency in Vietnam, and more than 10 years working for the Group M agency. I have a good opportunity to serve for the biggest dairy company in Vietnam, such as the Vinamilk, and beside that, I have served for the B&G as well, and the top. There's some brand very hard for me. When I work for the Group and MediaCom is the Diageo and Pernod. That's some whiskey product, and how to I have to use the creative skill and bring the advertising to the digital for that kind of product. And nowadays, a lot of people talk about the AI. I'm happy to share with you some talk about the AI for not only for the FMCG brand, but also for the healthcare product as well. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, Bao, we definitely need to work together at some point, right? We need to discuss more after this session. Okay, so thank you very much. So John, please introduce yourself.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to organizers for setting this up and also inviting me to it as well too, and to the fellow speakers. I've been pretty much excited to hear all the stories you've been working together. That's great. About myself, I'm in Vietnam for 10 years. So what I really do, I wanted to put it in basically in 3 parts. So the number one is my professional life. So in my professional life, I have done multiple billion-dollar business transformation as a CIO or the Chief Transformation Officer in Vietnam. One of them is Hoang Medical Corporation. Another one is RMIT. And so and several one. I was based in some other countries too before coming to Vietnam. I was working in Singapore, Indonesia as well too. So during that aspect, so I have implemented a lot of digital transformation, technology, and AI matters. So that's one of the boosts I'll bring it up to share with you in this conversation. And the second part of it is my passion. So I'm highly passionate about doing research. So it comes to dive down into data. So I basically was doing PhDs in computer science and engineering, but I dropped out because I want to do a mass data, basically for mass people problem solution. So coming out of that research, I did 4 or 5 years in Vietnam, and then come out of the research, there are 2 organizations currently established. One is VSHR group, which is the nonprofit activities, focus on public health, because the research was conducted directly on the patient experience in Vietnamese healthcare system. So now that our nonprofit organization VSHR runs around 300 people and almost 25 national level public health projects and educational projects too for youth and people. The other part of this one of the research turned into which was I focused about for industry and companies. So that research was I conducted for 150 companies almost for 4 years to understand people, process, and culture and leadership problem. So outcome of the research now turned into this today's enterprise, which I'm representing in this organization. You can see VSHR Pro Academy. So we've grown to almost 60 people last 3 years period of time. And our goal is to change the work culture for Vietnamese people, so people has a better life when they work and have a better opportunity to develop their career and make the industry a better place by transforming each of the people. So our main solutions we work on is about workforce transformation solution. So in the workforce transformation solution, we do talent acquisitions, we do the leadership transformations and skill expertise, and third one is about expert consulting. So we help the organization to strategize the HR policies to make it a better place to work. And the last part of me is my spirit. And that's exactly why I'm today here too. So I love speaking. I love inspiring people. I love giving them value so they can make a better place. So in last 5 years period of time, I spoke almost 300 conferences in South Asia. I'm going to speak my next one in next Monday in Sheraton Hotel. If anyone are around, come over. I'd love to speak to you. That day I'm speaking also about AI. So besides 250 to 300 conferences, I trained almost 30,000 people in last few years period of time in whole South Asia. So putting all this together, I'm going to put all my heart together to share with you the values about AI so it can help you in your business to take things forward. So Benjamin, over to you. Let's get started.
That's so great. You know, you're doing social impact actually. So yeah, so key because they are dealing with experts, you know, the digital industries. The digital industry, we have very different profiles, which is nice. So okay, so let's start without waiting anymore, guys. So we have a few topics to discuss, and I think that before we dig into detail, we should first make sure that we are all on the same page regarding, you know, the definition of artificial intelligence in digital marketing. Because this morning, it's funny. This morning I was discussing with my wife, and for her, you know, like artificial intelligence is like, you know, in the Terminator movies, like, you know, you have robots everywhere and there is no human at all, and the robots are killing the humans. So yeah, maybe
exactly.
I'm pretty sure, you know, that many people they think that way. So maybe let's give some context to get started the right way. You know, artificial intelligence is still quite new after all. So yeah, so it will be my first question for you guys. So simply, like, what is artificial intelligence in digital marketing? So I don't know, maybe Sudesh, you want to share a definition?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Benjamin. I think that you know, Terminator thing kind of reflects a lot on you know, similar perception that people kind of thinks about AI as well. So I think that's definitely one of the most common question that has been asked these days. And in fact, about 2 weeks ago, one of my friend's 10-year-old daughter asked me what's AI, as she was sort of peeking into the AI conversation that I was having with her dad. So I explained to her as such, right? So I told her, if I were to give you like 1,000 random pictures, and one of the picture is a picture of a cat, can you find that for me? And how long will it take for you to find that picture of a cat? And then she told me yes, and she can find that picture, which will take her about like 5 minutes to scroll past and look through every pictures to find that cat. And then I told her, what if there's a system that can, you know, instantly within seconds, take out that picture of a cat and share that with you, right? And that's AI, and that's how she sort of grasps AI itself. But to me, AI is where sort of like, by definition, machines can do things that exhibits, you know, traits associated to us humans, but of course doing that like 1,000 times faster, which is of course much smarter than a normal human for sure, right? And of course, coming down to the digital marketing sort of perspective, right, this includes attributes such as understanding images, like what I shared earlier itself, which do provide lots of value, detecting behavioral patterns of users and customers, and also, of course, predicting the next steps for the customer itself, problem solving, personalizing experience for a user, recommending the right call to actions, and you name it, the possibilities are limitless. And that's pretty much my take on AI in short.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll go more in details later, but that's a good definition. I don't know, John Bao, if you want to share a little bit more about artificial intelligence as a definition, you know, as a term.
Yeah, like should I just share that the AI, we have to talk about the machine learning data. So keep it simple. So what is AI? Artificial intelligence is we use the big data for the machine to serve for our client and brand as well. So based on the data collection, based on the data analysis, and the observation of the target audience, then we can develop the media marketing smart data. and help to search better, because they understand the user behavior based on that. And moreover on that, based on the data analysis, we can do the personalized the content for the consumer as well. Yep. I think we
Yep,
keep
exactly.
Yeah. John?
Exactly.
Yep.
Sure.
John, what do you think about?
Sure, I love to add those one too. And I think Sudesh and Bao already give a pretty good and nice context about that one too. So I want to be a little more attached with the digital marketing and marketing field to give you the definition a little more specialized for that one. So in marketing or in a product, how to build a successful and then sustain that successful product. To do that one, somebody must listen to customer behavior. So if you are listening customer, for what? To predict their behavior. And it's not a project, so it will start tomorrow and finish in next month, and it will go away. It's not that. You need to be constantly listening into it, because things are changing all the time. Customer behavior is changing all the time because of many things. Like think about last 2 years, COVID, and now we are sitting in a endemic situations. Pre-pandemic, during pandemic, and endemic, behavior change.
Yes.
And if you wanted to listen all this behavior and understand the behavior, you will win. But if you want to do it in a traditional manner, by doing a hand job, like basically we're doing the ground job, shoveling up, if you want to do this one, it's going to cost you an army of people. Or you can automate all this thing, listening all the behavior and structuring all this behavior to a sizable understanding dashboard reporting to you. And then not only that, this is like an analytics level, but AI can help you to even recommend and trigger related actions for you to do in terms of your brand marketing as well too, which is more content specific marketing based on your customer behavior, which is always changing, and your action is getting adjusted to. And if you could do that, that's why companies who are using AI wins.
Exactly. So guys, you are right. It's totally about, making money also at some point. It's about data, definitely. It's about understanding the customer behavior, and usually we use historical data for that, and we analyze this data in order to make predictions and to make like more customized offers or product proposals or whatever. Yeah, definitely. So this is great. So yeah, so it's not what Terminator, as my wife was thinking, definitely.
It's a very coincidence, Ben. You just say Terminator, because last week, 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to PMI International about the digital transformation and AI as well too. My very first slide was that Terminator movie as well too.
Oh my God, that's true.
We did a very big job. Just 9 episodes make $690 million in profit. So you can understand how much fear they have transmitted among the human minds about AI.
Everybody also fears Terminator, We like to watch a movie, but we don't want to see a Terminator in front of us. But yeah, okay, so great, so very nice definitions, guys. So I think we are on the on the onboarding already of this topic, because we have defined artificial intelligence for digital marketing. So I think maybe, guys, the next step, it would be great if we could share our personal experiences of AI, from our jobs or the clients that we may have worked for before. So what do you think? Could be a second question, right? So so could you give like one example of artificial intelligence systems that you are using for your business? Like Sudesh, maybe you want to go ahead with this one again?
Sure, love to start this, Benjamin. So in HelloBuxy itself, we practice AI in a few areas. Now, I'll be sharing with you some examples. We use just one example that we use AI and machine learning to improve internal operations. So our business revolves around this concept, which is what we call the 4C concept, right? So the first C is content, which is where we use to educate people and, of course, get most of our reach and traffic towards. The second C is called communities, which is where patients can share their experience and, of course, learn from other patients towards improving their lives as well. The third C is called care, which is like a doctor booking platform. Patients can search for a doctor, make an appointment, and so on. And the fourth C is called commerce, right, which is e-commerce itself. So I really want to focus more on the first C, which is content, right? Which is where we get all the 38 million monthly active users across the 9 markets. And we have a very unique way to write content that is of high quality and ranks on Google. So the example that I'll be sharing would be more towards content recommendation itself, right? So as we look into our content, which drives about 95% of the traffic, the challenge we faced before is how do we curate the journey of users, which are mostly consumers and patients, to the next stage of the marketing funnel, which is conversion, right? So do you have like awareness, education, conversion, and purchase? How do we curate that from high reach towards the bottom itself? And of course, coming down to the 4C, we have communities, risk screeners for diagnostics, we have doctor booking, we have e-commerce, that all relies on our content to supply the reach so that our users can convert to their entire, towards those services itself. And also looking at our categories when it comes to healthcare, we have more than 300 health categories. We have like, diabetes, like hypertension, stress, and so on and so forth. And that itself comes down to 30,000 content. It's quite a big challenge for our team to recommend these services to content, right? So we use AI to sort of solve this problem by selecting the right content and of course, recommending the right services based on historical user behavior of that particular content itself. For example, if I'm a user, if I'm reading a type 2 diabetes content, it automatically recommends an endocrinologist, right, who specialize in type 2 diabetes. And for other users, it would recommend the user to join a type 2 diabetes community itself, right? So this is just one example that I have, but also we have other use cases, both from an operational excellence perspective and of course towards improving user experience. Over to you, Ben.
Yeah, you are talking about content marketing, which is a very good application of AI, definitely. On my side, I do a lot of SEO, search engine optimization. And, SEO is also one of the best application of artificial intelligence that you can find because we have to understand, the user behavior. Just talking about the keywords, what kind of keywords people are typing on Google, we have to understand from the past data, like how many people type, for example, artificial intelligence on Google. We need to understand this. We need to use this data, to collect this data. There are tools, of course, to do that. And we use that to make predictions and to adapt our own content, for example, on a website, on a blog, a product page, or whatever. And we adapt this content in order to predict there will be users interested in this kind of content, and we'll find our pages, our web pages, based on the analysis that we made on the search data, the past search data. So it's exactly like what you were introducing in with your content marketing, definitely. I don't know, Bao or John, if you want to share more, more experience about that.
Yep. Okay.
Practice case or something that you did in the past or you want to do maybe?
Okay, so there's one example for the FMCG brand to use the AI to increase the consumer experience. Let's say there's one lipstick brand. When they go to online shopping selling, user and at the end user, they confuse what the color is suitable for them. So the lipstick brand to develop an app, so the end user can choose can take a picture, their picture. Then they choose the color of the lipstick, and the app can help to apply on their lips as well. So based on the intelligent technique like that, the end user can more understand and good feeling on the what kind of the color of the lipstick make them be more beautiful than that. So that can help them to make the decision immediately what color of lipstick they will
so
buy.
You make a real personalized and custom offer to those guys. They can choose their lipstick based on their behavior. Yeah, so it's great. It's great. It's personalization, and this is all about
That's one case study. I think actually is very successful on the market as well. John, any share?
Sure, thank you. Pretty interesting discussion. So Sudesh was sharing was an implementation of content marketing with AI and example, and Bao was already given product marketing. So let me pick up a little one to be a little more so the audience, you guys still don't get bored listening to us. So before I get started, I just want to highlight that one. You can implement AI, but before you implement the AI, just understand 4 types of AI. Understand if you're implementing reactive AI, which is a lot easier to do it as long as you have data. If you're sitting down in organizations for a few years of time and you have few systems here and there, you can pull up a lot of data to build a reactive AI. Number 2 is a limited memory AI, which is a little more advanced, like automation car, which is coming right now, self-driving car, all this thing. So just remember these 2, because this is the 2 AI I'm going to use it to implement that one. There are 2 other types, which is like self-aware AI, which doesn't exist yet that much. Another kind of AI who kind of really theory of mind, who can predict like human impression a little bit. But first 2, like I said, it's going to be more optimized. The example I want to give it to you where I implemented this one was you can use it for your own organizations too. It's that easy. So in our organization, what we had a lot of service department inside our organization. And then externally, we have a lot of external customer who we acquire the service department and use them as a service to get responses. I mean, customers or partners as well too. And internally, we have a lot of departments as well too who ask for the support as well too and service from them as well too. So that means what happened is we had a big cost in our frontliners. That means basically you have a cost in the frontline. That means the people who are working on the front line, and also have a cost as a backline who are working on the service desk as well too. So what happened? Everything started with a problem, right? The problem was this one is, our product delivery cost is expensive compared to this. Like an example, to deliver a per unit of the cost of a product is not, can we put it down so we can make it offer it in a better price to our customer, or maybe can get a better ROI of developing and selling the product as well too. So then what we did is we look at all the service departments, and we're seeing that there was a lot of back and forth happening. So that means people asking for service, and it's going to a system, and then is waiting for a service manager to allocate to a particular service officer. And they spend quite a lot of time to answer that one too by doing a lot of bounce and forth between them and their customer. So what happened to that one? It takes like almost, we measure the average cycle. So average cycle is normally 3.3 bounce back between the raiser and the resolver. And the average cycles type in each of the step is around 2 to 4 hours. And to be if you just pay attention that every step is a human touch. So that means if the human doesn't answer it because of maybe other calls or maybe coffee or maybe another meetings, it's not moving forward. It's like a bottleneck. Each of the steps is a bottleneck.
It's a lot of waste. Yeah.
Exactly. So we look into the Lean Six Sigma and looking at everything was like a waste, and everything is a bottleneck. So what we did is we take all the data, put it all together, put it in an AI, build in a reactive AI in the beginning. So all the information was can directed into it, and there's an amazing 80% of the reply was automated by just replying back to the customer. And this was been as a lot of support was provided to the users, which is free of cost. We could just develop on that one too. So that means if you wanted to build a brand or you want to do digital marketing, it's not about just only product marketing anymore. If you're just trying to just meet up people and just tell them, hey, you want to buy my product, you're not going to win. You're going to lose. People are going to walk away. I said, hey, this guy just want to meet me and want to sell me something immediately. Such a boring guy. And like each of you will be pissed off the same way too. If just somebody just come in and just tell you just one thing, hey, can you buy my product right now? Rather than if you do more brand marketing and you come in and say, hey, I got something for you. This is going to help you out. This is going to help you out to get a knowledge. So you're going to help you out to solve a problem, or it can even help you out to make a good decision to buy the right product too. A lot of brand marketing was implemented of that AI system too. And we could automate that one, this value to the users. So which was because those values we're not bringing a direct sales to, right? So 80% of the response, we automated that way. And then we created around a massive amount, almost like 2,000 to 5,000 and values we created through the AI, because we just offer to them free of cost because AI is doing it. There's no human interactions. And if it directly was helping to generate leads actually for the sales team, because many of them are interested about it. So it just pull them to a leads as well to help them forward too. And this is a beautiful thing. The average cycle time was like almost to close any particular ticket was almost 16 hours, working hours, and with like 75% confidence rate. And this is the beauty. The average cycle time was dropped to 1 hour, and just 80%, which is automated, was 2 seconds. An average cycle time.
That's a great optimization, like a great example of successful optimization thanks to artificial intelligence, definitely.
Exactly. So that's kind of power you want to be. Like, it's not just only operation optimization, but even use it as digital marketing by creating brand marketing strategies, and then help the organization to build almost 25% extra warm lead generation, because those people are interested about this problem. And they understand their problem, they want to solve their one too, and then they want to have discussions to buy a product. And as they got a value from you, they are interested to hear more from you and solve that problem too. And that's how it becomes a leads, basically warm leads for you to consult and help them to solve their problem by a product. So that's how I would like to share with you is about. So yes, it evolved as a reactive AI, and then it evolved to a limited memory. Like, if you have a lot of data sitting down because you have an IT system for a few years, you can easily build up a reactive AI. And then as long as you train it for a few years in a right data structure manner, it can become a limited memory theory AI for you to help you out like an automated way too. And
it's a great real life example, definitely. I'm sure that the attendees are like, they're scratching on their screen, like, I want to do the same in my company, because it's so great that's like 80%, like so much. Like it's not only about customer optimization, but about time, about cost, about less bottlenecks, about better service for the client at the end, which is great. Which is
exactly huge reduction of the cost, product production cost. Product production cost is a huge cost, because end of the day, if you have 100 employees in your team, and if you're making $100 million, so that means you have 100 million / 100, and then you how much product you sell. From a simple math, you can understand how much it costs to deliver a successful product, a successful exchange, and you wanted to put it down, and that was a significant impact on that one too. We almost down to like 30% of cost of the product delivery.
Yep. So, okay, guys, let's move forward. We'll try to be even more specific, with because we have already shared some real life examples. But okay, Angbao, this question will be for you. I'm sure, because I know you have a big expertise in e-commerce and retail with your campaigns. So I'm sure you can fully cover the next question. My question for you, so what does AI implies for e-commerce, regarding the customers and the product point of view? If you can answer this one.
Yeah, AI and e-commerce. If talk about the AI and e-commerce, we have to talk about the data. Big data is very important.
Sure.
Yeah.
No data, no artificial intelligence.
Yeah, no data, no e-commerce. Smarter. And no data, no AI smarter. So data and the AI and e-commerce, we have to data analysis system, and we have to build at least the AI CRM. So based on the CRM, we, as John has shared, we understand the behavior of the customer. We can recommend we can understand the behavior and the historical of the user journey. Then we can recommend what type of product and related product, what relevant to our target audience. And from brand, when they sell the product, the AI system can help to understand the behavior of the target audience, then recommend the related product to our target audience, the target audience as well. So then we define the effectiveness by a persona. So AI can help to understand the deep inside of the buyer, how the buyer characteristic, how is what is the buyer persona. Then recommend not only the one product, but also the many related product for the brand. For the let's say for the customer, they very happy when they don't know why this page or why this brand recommended kind of product. Maybe they not realize on that. They think
because they think AI is just Terminator stuff, so they don't understand what is going on. Us, we know, of course, but normal people, they have no idea.
Yep, and keep better one sentence. Keep simple firstly. It's not only about what the customer search for. It's about what we can provide for them. So when target audience search for one kind of product, then we advise for them based on the AI that we apply for our brand and add into the e-commerce platform. Yep, I think that's very important for some brand when they do on e-commerce.
This is the point. This is the point of e-commerce. At the end of the day, we want to sell products, we want to sell services, and here, AI, artificial intelligence, it makes it like easier, also more personalized, more custom, and also more direct.
Yeah,
like it's very straightforward. Very straightforward process, and it's automated. This is the beauty of the thing, all automated. John, Sudesh, do you want to add anything on this for the e-commerce part?
Sure, Ben. Yeah, sure. I'll take it first, then John, you can kind of, so I think Bao definitely agree with you, right? Sort of like looking into user behavior, and of course, how do we sort of serve them better, like moving forward basis. To me, definitely aligned, right? So AI is already assisting the e-commerce business in online searches, identifying the right consumers, sensing consumer interest, like what Bao has mentioned, and also presenting the relevant products to broaden reach and also customer base itself. So let's really walk through the shoes of a customer, in e-commerce itself, right? So as they navigate through a product, either through search, or of course, like searching through the commerce homepage and SKU pages and so on, towards making a purchase, and of course, getting the products delivered to their doorstep itself. So the first point of intent is the most important, and mostly happens through search. So as a customer sort of types in like a search keyword, right? They can either type in searching for a category or even searching a product. We could leverage like machine learning to automatically adjust the relevancy score, right, of different products based on their higher historical click-through rates, and also popular searches towards boosting conversion. So let's take an example that if I'm searching for a white pillow, right? Eventually, like about 6 months ago, if someone were to search for a white pillow, and of course those that is ranked in rank number 6 is being clicked through the most, eventually the machine sort of learns and eventually kind of ranks this as one, and that call to action is much more quicker, right? So that's one way that we could sort of optimize that. Number 2 is also kind of leads down to smoothing the search experience by autocomplete search queries to, of course, reduce friction and finding the right products for a shopper with what we call this using the powerful NLP or natural language algorithm that really completes the entire user search bar, right? And this actually really provides like real-time, I would say contextual suggestions based on user activity, and of course like automatic similar word detection and spelling correction for a consistent journey. So if I were to type like 2 words, eventually it auto-completes based on historical searches and so on. And besides this search, this is where it gets a little bit more exciting. Conversational commerce through chatbot can really bridge the gap between offline and online retail by acting as a customer representative for your e-commerce site. And when I was looking at Lazada, this was one of like the breakthrough that we actually did, and it really changes the entire customer experience itself, whereby we can answer customer questions in real time with a chatbot that really leverages like powerful natural language algorithms to recognize user intent, of course, providing them the most relevant response. So I've just explained about the first point of interaction, which is search. So think about the next steps, such as adding the product to cart, checking out products, and also enabling a smooth logistics so the products get delivered to the customer the quickest way. So each steps of these customers can be improved progressively by like what Bao mentioned, leveraging data, analyzing user clicks, and also historic behavior towards personalizing the user experience and serving them right. I mean, John, I'd love to hear from you as well.
Sure. I think it was pretty good comprehensions into it. I think Bao and Sudesh will give a lot of technical details already. So I'm going to focus a little more about business side. So if any one of you wanted to do a digital e-commerce, you have to understand what game you are in. Example, I'm going to give you some of the setup. You have to think about, are you in the game of just being in e-commerce, like Lazada, or are you like a marketplace, or you wanted to have your own retail store already and now you want to have a second wing. You really need to understand what game you are in. If you are not understanding your game, that means your team have a lack of capability of expertise. Build that expertise or onboard that expertise to set up that understanding, because that's the root. Because if you don't do it rightly, the whole thing will go wrong. So now the second thing, I like to talk about this principle a lot. You don't need to reinvent every wheel. If there is a wheel already, somebody already become successful, you could become successful too by just doing that.
Copy paste, right?
Yeah. So more or less, and copy it, and then it's not just paste. Copy it, optimize a little bit for fit to you, and then optimize it and use it. So when you talk about e-commerce, one of the big, number one e-commerce is what? It's simple. Amazon. Who created Amazon? It's Bezos. And Bezos' one line is simple. We will always sell more if we could help customer to decide their purchase. And that's the line of everything what we just talked about about this question. So your e-commerce should be helping the customer to make their decision easier and faster to make the right decision to buy which product to do. So like an example, recommended products. When they're looking into it, they can look into other recommended product. They can have a price comparison too. And Sudesh and Bao just mentioned about it as about recommended searches as well too. The second one, building the trust. They want to hear a little bit of a conversation, the chat. Sudesh just mentioned about it. Help them to have a little bit of chats about your product so they can have some questions. They can get a response in real time too. And here's the point. You want to educate your customer. So you want to educate your customer by handing out brochures in the street or putting an expensive billboard, which is out of that, or you want to make it build a great content to putting into the internet or in your website so they can easily read and build this onto, and then you can give them on. And here's the point. When building contents, people start making marketing, start doing content marketing, and that's how they lose. When this a company's a product will start to make a really good brand marketing and really make the real comparison and the true weakness and strength, they expose their product into the contents, the clients start to trust about them, the customer to trust about that too. So that's why I told you that in the very first thing, you need to understand what game you are in. And then if you just play it rightly, and you can use all those recommended search, chat, building the right content over scale. I think there's a lot of questions about it. I'll talk about the scale by using AI. And because you can create this AI chatbots, you can do video, your right product recommendations with the right pricing, because you can use AI to even price your product correctly for your correct audience by asking a little bit of information upfront through your loyalty program, which can tap into an AI backend and can really give you the right pricing for your right product as well too.
This is dynamic pricing, right? Yeah.
Exactly, and you can take things to a much more successful level. But again, I'm telling you right now, in the core, understand what game you are in, and here's the point. What game you are in is important. Another very important too, in the next 5 years, what game you want to be in. So get this thing very deeply and with the right breadth, and then we'll win by using AI.
Yep. So I feel like we already answered pretty much the next question, which was a kind of follow-up question regarding the brands, but still, let's make it even a little bit more detailed, so more on the brand point of view. So how can they adapt to the customer's changing expectation, and deliver the best experience, the most custom experience to them? So maybe we may come back to Bao, okay, who can share on this. We'll try to make it quick because we will run out of time and we still have a session.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like there is no question yet in the chat box, so maybe also we can continue to discuss the points. But okay, go ahead, Bao.
Yes. Like John has said that the own brand need to scale, and own brand always need to large scale. Do you know that the 84% business owner or brand, they say personalized is the key for the successful. And for the brand, what they need to do if they want to apply the AI. Let's back to Sudesh just say about the content. So the first thing, they have to know how to optimize the content for their brand or for their product. This does it not only for the keyword but also for the topic and the title as well. Because for the title of the content, that can help to increase the CTR for the content as well. Besides that, for the brand, the key thing if they want to step into the AI is to revise their website. They have to interact the VR, the virtual reality, and the AR. So that kind of technique help the brand to increase the consumer experience on their side. Then the AI technique, the data can help us to recommend or advise the product what relevant for their habit. So I think for the brand, the first thing, content strategy and content optimization, SEO, and the scale. The second thing is the technical supporting for their website or for their platform. Yep, I think it's very simple for brand. There's there are just only two important things: content and the platform. Then apply the AI for their campaign.
Especially since the brand websites, they are really like the most important assets of brands. Like John was talking about the e-commerce platforms, also like Amazon. You can showcase your products there.
Yes.
But and of course you can benefit from those advantages. But your own website, this is your asset, your business asset, and you can fully customize. You are free to do whatever you want, to customize as much as you want. You cannot do that on Amazon and Lazada, and you are very limited. While on your website, you can change pretty much everything.
Yeah, rely to the third party. We have to based on their technique and based on a lot of the back end from the Amazon or Lazada. So based on our own website, we can do anything there.
Exactly. So guys, let's move forward, because I will try to cover one more question maybe. I'm pretty sure that many people who joined this panel with us today, they really want to get started with artificial intelligence, especially since we mentioned so great, so successful results and so many potential also from artificial intelligence for digital marketing. And because you have been very convincing, guys, Bao, John, and Sudesh. So, but maybe we should give some hints, like help the businesses, to move forward, to go ahead and to get started with that. What they should do next to apply this. So my question, very simple question, but very practical question. So, guys, so what kind of advice, what tip do you have for the businesses who want to get started with artificial intelligence?
Sure, yeah. I think, Ben, so I'd love to kind of like put this question into much more of questions that lots of brands actually did reach out to me and my team about, right? Which kind of ties down to how do we enable personalization at scale, right? So the word at scale, it's actually, quite a very interesting sort of statement. And in today's world, it's not enough to send each customer a message that addresses her by name and offers a discount based on, past purchase itself. You have to deliver like tailored messaging to thousands of customers, even like millions of customers in multiple different types of interaction itself. And this is where AI sort of comes in to make it possible for brands to truly interact on a personal basis with their customer. And that's why it's important for us to always think and talk in terms of not just personalization of one customer, but of course at scale itself. One very interesting thing that I read in Tech in Asia about a week ago is that despite the known importance of personalization, not all brands are executing this yet, right? About 80% of the marketers say personalizing the online experience based on behavioral data has high importance in engagement, but only 20% of them has enabled this in their system itself, right? And those 80% who did not enable are truly missing out. And there is actually a few very simple ways for brands to actually get things started. But before that, also like what John has mentioned, like most marketers, when they heard the word AI, they got the fear that it's going to be complex. But in fact, it's actually not. Right? There's so many third-party libraries, pre-trained models, and tools that are already available to make this, enable this. So the first step is definitely to strategize, right? So to start in areas that you think at present it's lacking the most, right? So from the marketing funnel itself, let's look into the stage of conversion, right? Are we driving purchases with various campaigns? If not, can we personalize, right? So the first thing is strategies to know where do we play, right? Next is planning, right? So let's pick a scenario where we are not driving purchases with various campaigns itself. Let's really analyze the historical campaigns and also have the right data, gather some insights on the performing campaigns, and how do we replicate the success in the future campaign. Once we get these sort of like pre-trained data, pre-insights, then we start to activate and also continuously improve. So for the same example itself, there are so many available modern CRM tools that enables integration of audience segments within your data warehouse if you have it, and also use the simplest solution to continuously perform A/B testing or variation testing, and leverage the variation testing that drives the most conversion to maximize the outcome through AI itself. So I think that's my take on this and my simple advice to the brands. What's your take on this, John?
Love to share on this one. So I think Sudesh, you covered pretty much well. So let me just share a little bit other side of this one too, for not to get the audience bored. Sudesh was just mentioning about it is about personalize. Just remember that keyword, because the game started with that. He just say that one is like 80% cannot do it because of the personalization issues. So I will get back to my first point. Whenever you wanted to do in a brand, think about what game you are in, what stage of the game you are in. If you're Coke, it's a different story, and Coke is the only one. If it's Pepsi, is the only one. They don't need personalization. Their product itself has such a big brand power, so consumer keep buying for them. But if you are not Coke and you're not Pepsi and that huge brand, and you started in like 5 years or 10 years back, the only way you can succeed in the market is personalization. So now here's the point. How do you personalize? So whenever you want to personalize, because it's basically every experience you crafted for the users, every personal customers. And to do that one, you need a huge amount of manual. That's the word. Manual works, on hand works to do that. And that's why you marketers are lazy to do it, cannot do it, lack of resource, lack of budgets, and you find a way to generalize experience for your market audience too. So here's the point. You could personalize that one if you just think this way. So I'm going to give you it. So to personalize that one is first thing you need to think about, right? You need to see what you can optimize, which you will do. And most of you probably doing it. The next thing is about automate. So what you could do is about you sitting down with a lot of data already, put it to an AI, and build a level 1 AI, which is reactive AI. So that means you can put down your set of experience you have created already, put down as one of the module inside of into it. And then on the way, anybody is coming into, like an example, new case situation you're facing, you will face two types of situation. One, typical situation means it happened already, throw down the last module. The second thing is about a new situation. So now you create a new situation means you respond that one, building a new module, and then put it into that too. And if you just do it for a few years, you will have this sitting down in a great amount of module collection into it. And then you can have amazing amount of personalized thing. And then if you could develop to that, the next layer, which is like theory of mind, and then you can have, you'll be able to blend this module into it. And then you can create more unique personalized value into it as well too. But here's the point. You need to be patient, and you need to be ready to do the groundwork to build this initial thing. Because I know that in business, it's always about urgent. Now, customer is asking for it. And then you just go in and just giving the value to it and just move to the next request. And it's so important. Like it's called the world of tornado, right? In business every day, in the work is every day, a tornado happening. And you're just doing the firefighting and don't have the resources to do it. So if you could build a team or you build enough resource to really build that one too, being passionate this one, and take a pain of 1 to 2 years of time, then you will win. And I want to share with you a few examples, like some big banks winning. Like 5-6 years ago, people was joking about this one with the Techcom Bank and HSBC Bank. Techcom Bank has almost 15,000 employees all over the world, all over Vietnam, and HSBC have like a couple of branch, and the revenue was same. Why? because the usage of advanced AI, even they use blockchain, all kind of thing, they have done it in HSBC Bank. But here's the point. They're not only winning anymore, because the other business like Techcombank also learn the amount of investment they're doing in AI. And that's why they're in the middle of the pandemic in 2021, the revenue profit was $1 billion US. And now they're coming to face with HSBC. And now they will win even bigger than HSBC, because they have learned how to equip their the army of 12,000 people with the right gears. So here's the point. If you have that already present, like you already have quite a big of team, use AI, and then you will be actually go at world-class level. If you're really small, you still use AIs, and then you can come to compete with the big giants to get your market shares too. That is my key takeaway, summarize.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Bao, maybe you we're almost done. I think it's almost lunchtime, here in Vietnam, and
Yes.
I guess that everybody's pretty hungry now, Basically, ăn cơm. So, but if you want to have a few words about that, I would like to share also, but I'm not sure we'll have the time.
Yep, I'm very shortened. That John and Sudesh have covered a lot of the things how to start for the AI. I just have one thing. That's for the data. We have to break down the data at a small bit by bit for more and better understanding the consumer journey. Then we can capture our target audience attention based on each of the journey. So data breakdown, more understanding, then deliver the personalized message to right target audience at the right time. Yep, that's the very important thing I want to share.
It's all about data. It's all about data anyway, and you have to segment the data. You have to extract the data to understand it in order to make good predictions. That's all about it, actually.
Yeah, personalize the message.
I absolutely agree with Bao. Bao just say some really strong line. Right message in the right time. If it's right message in the wrong time, it's value. It can go actually the wrong direction to it. Right message in the right time. Yeah, thank you, Bao.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's time. It's time for us.
Yeah. So guys, I didn't see any questions, but when you have an empty belly, you want to eat, you don't want to ask more questions. so anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining this session. I think we covered quite a lot today. Like we started, from kind of general, and then we were digging into details. So yes, artificial intelligence, there's a lot of potential for that. I mean, especially in Vietnam. Personally, I love to use data. I am a geek with that. You talk about data. My blood is boiling. So when I see like just in Vietnam, you have like 100 million people in Vietnam. That's a lot of data for just one country. And so lots of potential with artificial intelligence. I'm pretty sure that in the future we'll be able to leverage all this data. We already started, many companies, we all use actually artificial intelligence on a daily basis. Just when you use Google Maps, you're already using artificial intelligence. So it's in everyday's our daily basis. We use this kind of tools. So yeah, we just have to understand this and to be able to use that for the good, for customer personalization, to serve actually the clients at the end, and to grow the businesses this way. So thank you guys very much for joining. I'm very happy. I hope you enjoy the discussion. So don't hesitate, guys, the attendees also, don't hesitate to reach us if you have more questions later. Once you are full, once you got your cum-tam, we are glad to help. I think that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you, John. Thank you, Sudesh. Thank you, Bao. And I wish the best to you all, guys.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, and have a nice day. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.